son of a bitch.
That's right. We're back. An hour later than I wanted to be, but it's gonna take too long to tell the story why the hell I was late this time. So I'm just gonna say shit happened, alright? Cat's got 9 lives. We had a close shave. And I'm here an hour late. We'll just leave it at that. I'll let your imagination put the rest together. But let's get back into it, shall we? Get back into what though? I haven't even introduced the show. This is another episode of Phantasy Star Universe, Ambition of the Illuminus, episode 3 to be exact. Welcome. Hi everyone. Ignore my weird ramblings at the beginning. Just shit happens. And yeah, let's get back into it. Alright, chapter... What chapter is this? 7. Episode 3, chapter 7, Road to Rycross. LSS photon generators, though vital in improving confinement power output, are prohibitively expensive, making large-scale deployment difficult. Yeah. The various planetary governments have begun operations to harvest mushrooms, a catalyst in improving efficiency. Ethan used this opportunity to rejoin the Guardians and once again partnered with Karen, who had come back at Maya's invitation. Trying to hook him up. The operation went well, but Dr. Tom Rain still had concerns that the confinement devices would still have insufficient power. That's it for the recap. Oh shit, here we go.
Hi! Garage Channel
konnichiwa.
5 Headline News. I'm your newscaster, Hal.
How?
Today's top
That's her name.
story, Fungus Among Us.
Yeah, this is where all the voice acting budget
Do
went.
you know what this is? This odd little mushroom may be good for more than just your salad. This special fungus contains a high concentration of photons and is found only in a certain region of New Days. As they are effective in raising the output of the Lattice Shield System photon generator, the Guardians are currently involved in large-scale harvesting of these special mushrooms. However, while the setup of Lattice Shield System photon generators is proceeding favorably, the photon recovery from these harvested mushrooms is below the targeted amount. As of now, it is too close to call whether or not the confinement system can be completely activated with adequate photon energy in time for the unification point. In other news today, we have... Today, a general meeting of stockholders was held at the GRM Corporation. Majority stockholder Hugo Wright was elected as president of the company. At the meeting, Mr. Wright stated that he would resort to drastic reforms to rebuild the company.
Dude, what's up with his lips right there? Look at his mouth. Looks fucking weird. It's like, I think it's just a lighting issue, but it almost looks like he's wearing black lipstick or something.
However, no specific policy has been mentioned at this time, and Mr. Wright's moves are being watched closely. This is Garage Channel 5 Headline News, signing off. I'm your reporting newscaster, Hal. Bye-bye!
Bye! Have a great time!
Bruh.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's why they chose to put all the voice acting budget for this whole episode, man. The newscaster, how? You know what's gonna happen. Wait for it. There it is. Fuck you. We're watching this. Let's go. We don't skip this. We haven't skipped it before. We ain't skipping it now. Oh god. I see her name. The subtitles are inaccurate. Her name isn't How. It's How. That's how she says it. So they gotta fix that. In the patch that's never coming because the servers have been shut down for like a decade. I actually want to look that up. When were the servers shut down? You know what? While this plays, I'm gonna look up everything. everything that I'm interested in anyway. That took forever to type out. This intro's not long enough. Episode 3, Chapter 7. Rycross Road. It must be a direct translation. Doesn't sound as epic as saying Road to Rycross. Alright, let me see what I... Ambition of the Illuminus story DLC. Yeah, it introduced new story content through its Episode 2 storyline. Those are released in chapters. DLC updates. The exact release dates for each chapter are not readily available in the provided sources. Fuck. But the first chapter, Despair and Hope, was released to kick off PSU Episode 3, marking the official release date for Ambition and Illuminus in Japan. So Despair and Hope was available on release. So once you beat the offline version of the game, you know, Episode 2, you go right into that first, like the aftermath right after. Damn. I guess I can't look into that. Alright, so there's no easy, readily available way to just look it up right now. So I'll have to do it offline. I wanted to see, like, to put in, you know, to be more specific what I was looking up. Because I was going to look up everything, right? I just decided to look up the release dates of all the chapters. Because I wanted to see how far apart these patches were, the story patches. So I guess I'll have to research it later. Doesn't look like I'll be able to find any quick answers. I'm not just going to sit here for 30 minutes doing that instead of watching the episode. Alright. Episode 3, Chapter 7, Road to Rycross. Let's get it done. Motub Kugu Relics entrance. Armrain says, I'm sorry you had to come out here to be my bodyguard, Gators. Oh yeah, that's where we left off last episode. We were coming here. It's all good. Thank you for all your help. I think I can manage from here. I was about to make a joke about the fact that, yeah, we talked about this last time, Tom Rain. I know. I do all the heavy lifting. I do all the work. If it wasn't for me, y'all would have died already. The seed would have killed y'all already. Or the Illuminus would have. Tom Rain says, What's going on here? Looking a little sus. This says, crap, it's the Guardians.
Fuck! Surprise, motherfucker.
That sounds shady. What are we gonna do? Already incriminating themselves. Almost. He says nothing. We're not backing down now. What the hell is this? Tom Rain says, We're gonna fight? What's up? He says, you there! Get out of here!
You bastard!
Make me, prick. You don't want to stand in our way. All beasts have that mark on the same arm. Tom Rain says, I presume that you're rogues then? Where do you think you're going? Shit. Tom Rain's got balls. He's stepping up to them. Hasn't Don Tyler mobilized the rogues? Boss champ. Long ass pause time. To help with the LSS photon generator installation? What's it to you? Well, the rogue on the right said that. The other guy says, acting like a big shot. Oh shit!
Fuck!
Tom says, help the doctor or knock out the rogues. That's a tough choice. Shit. I want to do both, but what order would be best? I'd say help the doctor. Once we make sure he's okay, we kick these guys' asses for that. They punched him in the face. They knocked his ass out. Tommy says, I'm fine. Thank you. The big dude says, who cares about photon generators? But what are you guys doing here then? I'm sick of being pushed around by the Guardians. Oh yeah?
You son of a...
The other guy says, Goral is gonna be wiped out anyway. Just let us do what we want. Are you still looking for permission? Oh shit. Tommy says, I understand your feelings of despair, but everyone is doing their best to triumph in the face of this. Or at least they're being realistic about what an end of the world scenario like this how an end of the world scenario like this would actually pan out. Yeah, not everybody's gonna cooperate. Some people are just gonna be selfish pricks like this. It makes sense, yeah. Tarmin says, how about you not give up and lend us a hand instead? Do you remember? I just remembered on FF7 Rebirth, some of the NPCs in the dying world. The world where there's no more live stream. And that, like, reality. You'll see people moping about it, but then there's, you'll see people going, fuck it, we should just stop robbing people or something. That's what this reminded me of. He's like, the world's gonna end anyway, let's just start robbing people. This big dude says, cram it, old man. Cram it, old man. Like saying, fuck off.
You suck!
The little dude says, if you don't move, we're gonna move you. We're gonna move you.
He's pulling his...
Hey, knock that off. Oh, we got a third party.
Surprise, motherfucker!
The thumbnail kind of gave it away. I already knew it was them. Hiduvol! Thank you for reminding us of their names. We haven't seen them in fucking ages. I like the heroic music. Hidu says, we were just looking for you. Oh yeah? We were just looking for you. I pictured his voice. Do you realize what a pain you're being? And at a time like this, you're leaving us to pick up your slack.
You suck!
The small dude says, but brother. He says, don't you dare call me brother now. This guy was called No, I believe. But now I forgot the... Last time I forgot his name, which is Novol. I think the other one's just Do, right? Yeah, it's No and Do. It's Hiru, No, and Do. There we go. Novol says, this is no time to worry about who's a rogue or who's a guardian. Character development. Don't you understand what Don Tyler was saying? Dovol says, you don't even deserve to call yourselves rogues. The big dude says, we don't need any lectures from you. Oh shit, standing up to them now. The other dude says, you think you're all that because Don Tyler puts up with you? We got infighting going on. Maybe your egos need a little readjustment. Bring it on. Hidu says, it seems like you just really want to piss us off. Them's fighting words is what he just said. And they're in fighting stance, so... Oh, no, he's freaking out. The dude's like, eek! Eek! Run! Fucking cowards.
You son of a bitch! You suck!
Peter says, get back here!
Bruh, look at this dude.
Fucking cowards talking all that shit, and then the moment somebody snaps back at them, they just run away. Well, starting on won't be nothing, man. Talk shit, get hit, and all that. As soon as they realized the dude was actually gonna fight him, he was like, oh shit! Run away! Tom Rain says it appears that they have returned. Alone. I'm sorry for all the commotion. Peter. We rogues are responsible for installing Motube's LSS photon generators. Please forgive us. Tarman says, though your words are reassuring. What happened to your two friends just now? Peter says, oh, don't worry. We three gave them a firm talking to. Yeah, I'm sure that's all it was. Just fucked them up. Nell says, right now, they're just over there thinking about what they've done. Dolo says, you don't need to worry. I like how I just was like this, and then I look over, and Caters was literally doing the same fucking thing. Like, right after he said that, I just did this, and then look at Caters. There it is. Just... What else can you do when these guys talk, right? Like, you just have to, like, shrug and nod and shake your head, like, what the fuck is this? Well, I'm glad to know I was feeling the same way as the main character. Tarman says, Oh. There's Tonio and Leogini. Yeah, there they are. Leo says, there you are, Dr. Tom Rain. Doctor, if you wouldn't mind. You guys are still dancing over here. Could you please lend us a hand with the photon generators? Carmine says, but of course. Leo says, you too, Caters. Sorry to call you out now while you're still probably exhausted. I mean, hard to take breaks when the world's ending, so... It's just that we're running out of time here as well. Yeah, I know. Antonio says the rogues have all been given orders to help, but the seed virus hit really hard and purification is slow going. The installation is falling behind schedule. Edith says, I'm so ashamed. Nell says, we can't face Tyler or Laya like this. Joe says, yeah. Oh, they're trying. They're trying their best, guys. Leo says, you guys have been doing a great job. Antonio says, to use Lou's words, Motube is moving at 67% of estimated speed. Alright, Antonio's just randomly quoting Lou. Tomrain says, did you say 67%? That's... Longest pause champ ever. Peter says, we're sorry, but we'll get it done if it kills us. We'll get this thing back on schedule. I assume all three of them are talking at the same time, but... Leo says, I do like your enthusiasm. That one caught me off guard. But first, why don't you get Dr. Tom Rain to the power room safely? Shit, my mouse is on the screen. Tony says, we're counting on you. After all, the Guardians have their hands full clearing the relic sites. Leo says, we dragged Caters here all the way from New Days. True. Peter says, sorry about that, Caters. Leave Dr. Tom Rain to us. I guess we're gonna do something different. Tony says, by the way, are you responsible for those two punks knocked out back there? The truth comes out. Tom Rain stays quiet, looking at them like...
Bruh.
Come on, dude, bullshit.
Like, you guys fucking lied to me. You said you gave him a firm talking to. You knocked their asses out. Peter says, Doctor, you see... We may have had to fuck them up a little bit. They deserved it, though. It couldn't be helped. Yeah, we had no choice. I mean, I don't blame them. I'm glad they fucked them up. They deserved it after what they did to Tom Rain and all that shit they were talking. Fuck them. Peter says, but I'm sure they're having sweet dreams. And Noel says, yeah, I'm sure of it. Dell says, you don't need to worry. That's what I was waiting for. Dale says, great. We need all the help we can get right now, remember? Well, they weren't willing to help, dude. Like, they were already talking shit about how they didn't give a fuck and all that stuff. Tony says, if you've got that much energy, then go install another generator. Peter says, relax. As soon as they wake up, I'm sure they'll get back to work. All fucked up. They're getting their asses handed to them. Armain says, I'll have to take your word on that. Well then, Vols, we'd better hurry to the power room. Peter says, alright, we'll show you the way. I'm walking here. Decided to throw in an ad lib because why not? Tony says, Caters, let's hurry to the relic site. I was gonna say she's zoning out. Tom Rain says 67%. At this rate, the confinement systems may not be ready in time for the unification point. This isn't looking good. Kugu Relic Site Block 1. Leo says, we'll clean up these 3 blocks. Kyle Stato. Eliminate 200 seed forms. Great, 50 more than last time. Donio says, we're counting on you, Caters. Bitch, you better help too. Let's go. Shit, we got daggers. Oh! The whip. Watch me, Nene. Yeah, I went there. I know that's an old throwback at this point, but... Alright, now's my opportunity, though. 20 creatures defeated. This is like Dynasty Warriors now. Must do. 40. Wait, was it just Tony that talked? Yeah, Leo just said generic battle dialogue. Tony says that was tough. 2 blocks left. Give him hell. Leo says this is the last block. Stay on your toes. 160. Almost there. Shit. 180. That caught me off guard. Tanya says, after this, we should be done. Let's do it. And there we go. I was like, one left. There's nobody there. It did it.
Son of a bitch.
I can hardly hear what I think it was Leo saying something, but let me see. Listen. He said, excellent. I'm impressed.
A test of your reflexes. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you get the gist. Well, made it to block 4. Alright, I have to chug and finish my water at this hour, otherwise I'll be pissing all night. Leo says, it looks like we've taken care of things here. Tony says, man, that was a close one. Weak ass seed enemies, man. We wiped the floor with them. What are you talking about? we're over leveled, of course, so. Tonio says, I don't know what would have happened if you weren't here, Caters. Y'all would have gotten your asses handed to you and the world would have ended. That's what would have happened. Leo says it would have been rough, that's for sure. You're a veteran of combat now. Thanks. Sonia says, I'll make sure to report your progress to Laya.
You son of a bitch.
Well, thanks, you two. Glazing us up. That was quick, but the voice, what I pictured in my head when that message popped up. There. Mushy mushy. We need help. That was dope. I mean, his facial expression fit it. He says, we need help. Leo says, huh? What's going on? Edith says, sorry, but we're in big trouble here. Nell says, help us. Great. Leo says, what happened? Tony says, calm down and talk to us. Edith says, it's Dr. Tom Rain. I think he's hurt. Oh, so they failed at their mission. Shit. I think it was just Tonio said.
What?
Nell says, we took our eyes off him just for a second. Peter says, and he was attacked by a seed form. We took care of the seed form, but the doctor... Aww. I thought he was gonna make it to the end, man. He's gonna die. Leo says, all right. He survived episode 1 and 2 only to die here at the end of episode 3. Leo says, we're done here, so we'll be there shortly. Tony says, you're at the power room, right? He says, yeah, please hurry. Leo says, guarding Dr. Tom Rain might have been too much for them. Maybe we should have sent Caters with them too. Tony says, well, it's too late for second guessing now. Yeah. The decision's been made. We'd better hurry up. Sonia says we should hurry to get to where they are. Oh shit. Run! Leo says, watch it, there's still creatures left here. Yeah. Some big ass ones. A Build-A-Bear. This guy works for the Build-A-Bear workshop? Okay, that was quick. That's just like a room and a half, if that. Leo says, Doctor, you were injured? Carmen says, yes, but I'll be fine. Oh good, he's not mortally wounded. Sonia says, just what were you idiots doing anyway? Good question. You had one job. You could have called for a medical team or any of 100 other things. Hito says, but the doctor. What? Was it his Doctor, are you okay? Oh shit, it's Lena and Tyler. What's going on? You three again. Uh-oh, Lena's pissed. Tyler chooses you for an important job, and this is how you perform?
You suck!
Carmen says, please do not blame them. This injury is a result of my own carelessness. Tyler says, if you say so, Doctor. I guess I'll spare your lives this time. Holy shit. He just says, we're sorry. And Del says, we'll make up for this somehow. And Del says, forgive us. They're begging for their lives. Tyler says, I'll figure out what to do with you three later. Call a medical team at once. Lena says, understood. Armin says, please wait on Tyler. Barely standing. I'm fine. I really am. Don't worry about me. Why is he so insistent about this? Tyler says, doctor. Armin says, please, just let me finish this. Tyler says, but in your condition... Armin says, you must let me do this! He's not taking no for an answer, dude. Tyler says nothing. Leo's over there off in his own thoughts. Background. Still collecting his thoughts. Armin says, please don't take away my last chance to atone. A Melvor explosion. Tyler says, this isn't my decision. We should ask President Martinez. Leo says I've got President Martinez on the comm. Oh, he was thinking ahead. Good job, Leo. Called up his future wife. Yeah, I haven't forgotten, alright, that Laia has a crush on Leo. I don't know if he knows that yet, but Leo says she's been informed of the situation. Tyler says, I see. Thank you. Tyler says, so, what do you think, President Martinez? Laia says, if the doctor says he can do it, we should let him do what he wants. Tyler says, that's what I thought you'd say. Laia says, you got any objections? Tyler says, no, I think all we can do is let the doctor do what he can. Laia says he's the only one who can do it. A little smile. Armin says, thank you, President Martinez. Laia says, but doctor, try to take it easy out there. Don't get yourself fucked up, man. Holy shit. Suddenly all that text went by. We've still got the final examination of the Perum confinement device. We need you for that, you know. Which means, and the music is playing too. And I totally forgot about it. I go on vacation for like half a week. And I forget my own goddamn shticks, man. What Laia's saying here is don't die, dude. We need you. Tarmain says, of course. Oh, right, I clicked over there. There we go. Laia says, Caters. When you're done there, bring the doctor back to the colony. I still chuckle a little bit at the fucking name, dude. Caters. This person got to immortalize their character because they recorded the, you know, the online exclusive content before their servers got shut down. Leo says, we're pretty much done here. We'll take care of the rest. I think it's Lena, but it could also be Tony. I don't know, one of them. Says, couldn't have done it without you. Tyler says, okay, doctor, we'd like you to inspect the relic site then. Tarmain says, all right, let's go. Sonia says, what's the matter, Lena? Lena says, it's just... It might be better if the Guardians took care of the security detail, not us. Why's that? Sonia says, Lena, that's not very respectful of Don Tyler's decision. That's not very respectful of Don Tyler's decision. Tyler says, no, I can't watch over the doctor forever. Pause. And there's still other work for Lena to do. If we can ask you guys to guard him, that would be best. Hito says, we can... He's gonna get cut off. Tyler just gave him dagger eyes. Stayed quiet. And of course, he was like... Ah! Dude, look at his mouth. Look at his face, dude. That's that look of, oh my god, he's gonna kill me if I finish my sentence. Tyler says, can the Guardians do this for us? Tony's looking away. Wonder why this is suddenly a big deal. What the hell's going on? He just says, yeah, that would be best. That would be best. He's a little defeated, you know. Leo says, all right, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of this then. Tyler says, thank you. I appreciate it. Tony says, all right, let's go in then. The longest pause ever. Leo says, no, Caters and I will take the inside. Tonio, I'll leave the outside to you. We'll keep our comms open in case anything happens. Tonio says, alright, sounds good. Tyler says, let's go then. Hito says, hey, we can't let it end like this. So what are you gonna do about it? Nell says, we need to make up for our failure. I mean, don't fuck something else up in the process, at least. Dell says, we'll guard you. What are they gonna do? Peter says, Don Tyler, we're going too. Tony says, boy, I'm glad I'm not them. What's wrong with Lena? She's been sort of moping ever since she brought up the fact that the Guardians should take care of him. And she's been quiet too. Also, now they're all alone too. Lena stays quiet. What's on her mind? Tonya says, is something up with you and Tyler? I mean, is everything okay? Trouble in paradise? Lena says, well, why are you asking me that all of a sudden? It's pretty obvious, the way you're moping. Tonya says, maybe it's just my imagination. Pause. But something seemed kind of weird between you two just now. Yeah, I noticed it too. Lena stays quiet. Oh, hers is a little different. The symbol on her arm. It's slightly altered, but it's still like... It's consistently like a chain shape for all of them. Oh my god. That's why there's a second segment. They got disconnected. Did you guys see that just now? Look, right here. Peak emotional moment. And then the server has issued an interrupt request. You have been disconnected from the Phantasy Star Universe server.
What? What? What the
Fantasy violence, mild language, and mild suggestive themes. Back to the title screen we went. Xbox Live. Awaiting response from Phantasy Star Universe server. ESRB notice. Game experience may change during online play. Yes, we figured. See, if the ESRB was willing to put disclaimers like that back when online games started becoming a thing, why did they never make disclaimers for, like, games that had loot box gambling mechanics, you know? Hey, we get to see their characters. Oh my god, what are these names? Caters, level 149, and then we got Ghetto Barking Kitty. What the fuck? 27 minutes and 45 seconds of playtime. At level 1 still, so they haven't done anything. Koltova Milk Time? I don't think I even want to know what the fuck that means. Robo Barking Kitty, level 1, 45 minutes. The Koltova Milk Time one has 8 minutes and 42 seconds. I don't want to know. 500 hours on Caters though. 500 hours and they're not even at... They're barely at 149? Oh my god, leveling up in this game must have literally took an eternity. Also, don't tell me they... Like, we don't get to know now. I'm scared to look at the comments on stream. I'll read the comments. Well, I mean, how bad could it be? I don't think there's any... Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Here, let me see. Yeah, did anybody say something about the disconnect at the end? Let me mute the video so we can check this out. Attempt to preserve Phantasy Star Universe. Xbox 360. Oh, there's no comments. Nobody say anything. Okay, never mind. Alright then. Do some of them have... Like when I was testing like the first few videos, just to see if it was gonna be like a proper, thorough story playthrough, there were some comments on them, but I guess there's none on this one. But dude, that's horrible. Imagine if... Now we don't get to know, this is what I was getting at, is we don't get to know if they had to start the whole fucking mission over again. If they had to start over, that is horrendous. You get a disconnect in the middle of a cutscene. This one has a comment. Not showing up. Like, I'm scrolling down, there's nothing there, so... Maybe it got hidden or blocked or something? By the uploader, or who knows. Anyway, yeah, that's horrible if they had to, Thank God the FF14 servers are stable enough where I've never experienced this, but I think I've only experienced it one time, if that. Well, I think I was just testing it and I disconnected myself on purpose in the middle of a very long cutscene. And if that happens, you just start over, you know, from that cutscene. But the way this game is structured and programmed, I feel like that probably... I don't think it would have been that easy. Because the way they did the story content here, it's like you start a mission, and then you can just skip all the cutscenes to go right to the trial. Like, it's a bunch of cutscenes, a trial, sometimes cutscenes and more gameplay and then cutscenes again. Or it could just be the trial and then just, you know, more cutscenes until the end of the chapter, right? The way they structure these online missions. And the game has explicitly told us when we're halfway through a chapter, we get that little, like, player hub to restock and stuff before we do the second half. And it says if you leave and go back to the lobby, you have to start over from the beginning again. So it's implying that you have to, like, do everything in one sitting. So there could be a chance that they had to sit through all that shit all over again just to get back to this point and start filming from the part that got cut off. It's fucking horrible, man. That is awful, especially because internet connections were very unreliable back then in those days. Like, back in this era, yeah, I remember I first got internet in 2006. And even though I didn't play this game, from 2006 to, I want to say, like, for at least 10 years. Probably. But especially those first few years. And I haven't even changed internet service providers since then. But, like, there was random disconnects all the fucking time. Like, the internet was still very unstable. Or at least here where I live. But I'm pretty sure it was a common thing for a lot of people back then that isn't the thing anymore. Like, there was constant disconnects all the fucking time. Like, you would just be playing a game or browsing online, and then all of a sudden the internet would just go out. Usually it was a shoddy router, but a lot of times it was also the ISP. Like, there was a lot of times where we would just have unannounced, like, internet outages that would just go on for hours at random times. And it would happen pretty often. Like, at least once every couple of weeks, once a month. I want to say it was like 5 to 10 years ago now, when that suddenly just stopped happening. Like, I want to say for the last 5 to 10 years, it's just been insanely stable. Like, that never happens anymore. It could just be the zone I live in. Like, it used to be shitty and now it's really good. It could be that other people still go through this, but I'm just saying that in general, I feel like there's been a huge difference and upgrade in stability. Again, at least for where I live, compared to, at least now compared to back then. Back then all the time, I'd be playing like Maple Story, anything else, and all of a sudden you got disconnected, and it was just like, oh fuck, like it was just such a common thing. You'd just be like, well, here we go, like, or the internet would just go out, and you'd just be like, oh well, guess I can't do anything online right now. And now that happens so goddamn rarely. Like, it almost never happens. Like, I want to say it's almost like once a year, if that. Sometimes not even that. Like, it's very fucking rare now. Again, could just be a regional thing for me. But I don't know. I just, didn't mean to ramble too much, but I do remember the internet being very unstable back in these days. Lena says, I can't hide anything from you, can I? I think this picks up from where... Yeah, literally right where we got cut off, where Tonio said things seem different between you and Tyler. She stayed quiet and then says, I can't hide anything from you. Well, no, you wear your heart on your sleeve, Lena. Tonio says, I knew it. Lena says, it's not really anything. It's just, I've decided to put some distance between me and Tyler. Why? You said you were in love with him. Tonio says, what? Are you gonna quit the Rogues or something? He's so anxious for that. He's like, please say yes. Lena says, I don't intend to quit. I still love Tyler. Tonya says, what is it then? I don't get you. Lena says, I love him, but... It's like we're not a good match. I mean, aside from the fact that some people in the audience are probably very uncomfortable with you looking like a child and him being like, you know, looking like a full-grown man, or is there something else going on? She says, I don't really feel like he needs me, you know? Ah, that's what's going on. That's not necessarily... That shouldn't necessarily be a deterrent, Lena. Like, some people can find that a lot more attractive when you're with someone who you realize doesn't need you, but they still want to be with you. You might be implying he kind of doesn't want either, though. You know? What was that song? It's one of my favorite songs from Neo. Miss Independent? He literally says something about a woman who who wants you but doesn't need you. And you know, it goes the other way around too. And vice versa. Like, it can be an attractive quality. Especially if you're like a busy person and you're very independent. Sometimes having your partner be independent as well, it's good for both of you because you're both used to just not feeling the need to be glued to each other, you know, all the time. So not necessarily a bad thing, Lena, but you know, do your thing, I guess. Tony says, did you screw up and get yelled at or something? Oh my god. He doesn't get it. Lena says, I told you it was nothing.
You suck!
Tonio, you fucking suck. Listen to what she's saying, dude. Lena says, it's just... I think I finally get it. What's that? I had a crush on Tyler like I was a little kid. Not even gonna address that right now. It's like... It's... yeah. And she says, I didn't see the real Tyler. Like, I don't even know what to say to that. Tony says, and you've just now realized this? Lena says, hey! What she's saying right now is probably, I found him attractive because he was a bad boy, and then I got to know what he was really like and realized I don't think we're really a good fit. That's a classic mistake a lot of women make, Lena. Especially, you know, in the younger years. We still don't know their ages. They've only implied that they're definitely older than Ethan and the rest of the crew, who are 17, average. So they're implied to be older than that, both of them, both Tonio and Lena. But I mean, by the way that both of them talk, they can't be that much older. Because it sounds like both of them still have a lot to learn and all that. Especially with relationships and shit. Tonio's over here clueless. And then Lena's, you know, admitting she's been clueless in her own kind of way. But she's obviously more mature than Tonio. But yeah, they've danced around it. They don't say how old they are. They just say they're probably much older than Ethan, who's 17. Tonio says, you always seemed like his groupie to me, not his friend. True? Yeah. Maybe it was because of how you always looked at him. Like you were coming down with something. I mean, I think that's called being love-struck, maybe? Simping? Lena says, coming down with something? Tony says, yeah, whenever he talked to you, you just kind of zoned out. Yeah, that's called being insanely in love and just love-struck. Yeah, that's just... We've seen that. We've seen the trope in movies and TV where, like, one person is talking to the other and the person that's obsessed, in this case, Lena with Tyler, is just like... yeah, like it's just like clearly not even listening, just like checking out their lips, checking out his lips, his eyes or something, just zoning out on how cute she thinks he is and not even actually listening to what he's saying. Yeah. Yeah, we've all seen that. Lena says, why is this the first I've heard of this? Because you wouldn't fucking listen anytime Tonio tried to say anything. You would just immediately bitch him out and be like, Shut up, you don't get it. I'm in love with him. Fuck off and run away. That's why. Every fucking conversation. Thank you, yeah. Tonio says it right here. He says, it never matters what I say anyway. You never listen. Yes, thank you. I was just waiting till you cooled off a little. He's like, I can finally talk some sense into you. But it's been going on for so long. Pause. It's been going on for so long, I started to think it might be the real thing. So he could tell that she was just like in love in like the way that a puppy, like they call it puppy love, right? Something like that. It was like puppy love. He could see it, but he couldn't tell her because she'd never listen. That's again, that's a realistic scenario that happens all the time. We've all had those friends that will fall so madly in love with somebody that may or may not be good for them, and you try to talk some sense into them, and they're like, you just don't understand, all right? And you're just like, damn, you are fucking drunk with love right now. You are so blinded. Tonya says, well, yeah, following up with what he said, he thought it was a real thing. He says, maybe, I started to think it might be the real thing. Maybe it was true love. I don't know. I didn't want to get in the way of your happiness. Aww. That is a good guy. He says, but now I'm thinking that maybe you weren't really so happy. Sometimes you have to let people figure this shit out on their own. You have to hope that they do too, because sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. I have a friend who knows somebody that got together with the wrong person, ruined both of their lives, but they're still in love with them and they're still just going with it. And he and a few other friends tried to tell that friend, you know, multiple times, that person's not good for you. And unfortunately, that person just decided to completely ghost my friend and their friends. Even though they had actually known each other since, like, I guess you could call it childhood. Like, they had known each other for almost 10 years. And then the guy was just like, no. Like, you guys are... He just kept going off like, you guys are just hating, basically. Like, I want to be with this person. And then, yeah, he eventually just ghosted my friends, and I talked to him about it, and they were, because I was like, how's so-and-so doing? And they were like, dude, he just ghosted us, man. Like, he doesn't talk to us anymore. And I was like, what? I was like, you guys were, like, good friends forever, or, like, yeah, like, you guys knew each other forever, or whatever. Like, you guys go way back. And he was like, yeah, but he just decided not to talk to us anymore or something, like, and it's pretty obvious that, like, part of the reason was because of that, because they kept trying to talk him out of being in the toxic relationship that he was in. So he decided to ghost them instead of taking the advice. So it's like, you gotta sometimes you have to let the other person figure out that they're in a bad relationship, but it doesn't always happen. Sometimes they don't. They never figure it out. They just stay in it till they die. Like, never knowing they could have been a lot happier with somebody else, you know? And it's sad to see when it happens to one of your, like, close friends or family, you know? It's unfortunate. But, and I've been in a bad relationship, but I made sure to get the fuck out of there after 1 year. I told myself I would if it didn't improve, and I did. I followed through with it. I never told that person that. If she's watching, yeah, that was my idea. I gave you a year. You didn't improve your act, so I left, like I had planned. But I never told you that I had planned that. I was giving you a chance. But, anyway. Tony says, but now I'm thinking that maybe you weren't really so happy. And Lena stays quiet, realizing, you know, it's true. She says, you saw right through me, didn't you? Mm-hmm. I've been with him this long and I still can never say the right thing. When I think he's wrong, I can never tell him, you know? That's a big problem. You don't even feel like you can be honest around them. Tonio says, I don't think it would be right to tell him he's wrong all the time. Lena says, I know. But you know the way President Martinez talks to Tyler? How so? Like, very assertive? She'll tell him when he's wrong and yell at him if he needs it. Oh, I see what you're saying. you could never bring yourself to do something like that. That's what a partner should do, or even a friend. Yeah. That can be hard to do, but it's true, yeah. Tonya says, Laya does that to everyone, though. That's part of why she's the leader, yeah. She doesn't take shit. She's very authoritative. Not authoritarian, there's a difference. She's authoritative. Lena says, yeah. But the only thing I can say for sure is... Tonya says, Lena says, I could never be a true partner to Tyler. If I were, I'd never be able to do right by him. Because you wouldn't be able to talk sense into him when he needs it or something. Tonya stays quiet. He looks down and away. He says, you wouldn't nag him. You're too nice for that. Yeah, that's pretty much what she's saying. Lena stays quiet. Had this on for longer than I usually do. I wasn't sweating though, thankfully. Tonya says, I wasn't trying to be mean. I've known you since we were kids. I know exactly how nice you really are. Lena says, and you've never stopped being kind to me, Tonya. Even though you were kind of a bitch to him. True. I mean, he tried to scold her and tell her to, like, leave Tyler or whatever, but outside of that... Tonya says, do you think so? Lena says, yeah. This is new music, by the way. I've never heard this. Tonya says, I think because we can both speak our minds to each other. And what does that mean? If you were with me, you'd always be able to say what you want, right? Smooth. He's my man's direct. He's just going in. He's going for it right there. Just like that. Hey, if you were with me, you know, he's not even trying to dance around it. He's just putting it out there, right there. He's just like, I mean, if we hooked up, like, it'd be cool, right? My man's going in.
You son of a bitch.
Lena says, yeah. Pause for a moment. Tonya says, then quit the rogues and move in with me. Damn, he really did go for it. Quit the rogues and move in with me. I love you, Lena. I've always wanted you to be by my side. He's putting it all out there. As soon as he saw his opportunity, he just immediately swooped in. See, look, even Lena's like, holy shit. This dude is being really forward right now. I like that. It fits Tonio. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he just went straight in. Tonio says, I think we'd be good together. Dude, I got mad respect for this dude right now. Like, the respect meter just went through the roof. My man did not play games. Tony says, don't you think I'd be a good partner to you? I wonder they started playing this music. Lena stays quiet, pondering it. Come on, Lena. You know it makes sense. By the way, you know it. You know they probably did. They probably like, maybe they weren't sure of it back in episode 1. But I think over time, you know, they definitely went with this because, they probably knew that for some people it would be a little uncomfortable to see her end up with Tyler instead of Tonio. Again, because of the way they look. Like, even if she is, like, you know, supposedly much older than 17. Again, they never said. Just the fact that they, you know, they look like kids because they're small beasts. You know, I feel like that's the writers were kind of like, I think it'd be probably better if we just made her hook up with Tonio instead. But who knows if they had it planned since episode 1? You know, I feel like that's definitely a factor in this though. The way this whole thing played out, her eventually not ending up with Tyler and being with Tonio instead. Like, she's definitely gonna say yes. We know that she's about to say that right now. But yeah, I feel like that was definitely a thing. Like, they were definitely like, this probably makes some people uncomfortable. Like, we gotta... we gotta pass this up before the story's over. There it is. Lena pondered and stayed quiet for a second, then she says, yeah, you would. A man's in! Tony says, Well, he's surprised she said yes. He's just like, wait, what, really? So you'll move in with me then? Lena pauses and says, I will. You did it, Antonio, you're in! You got the digits! Tony says, all right. Like, he's still shocked by it. He's like, holy shit, she said yes? Oh shit! Laya says, that's great, Tonio. This has been very enlightening.
Son of a bitch. Surprise, motherfucker.
Holy shit! She was listening to the whole thing? her fucking face, too. She's like, this has been very enlightening. Tonio says, Laya?
What?
You were listening in on us?
You bastard! You son of a...
God, dude, I didn't see that coming. What the fuck? Laya says, listening in nothing. The comms are open, you know. You fucked up, player. Everyone heard it, look. Leo says, Caters and I, we both got an earful. Oh my god. Lena and Tony are both gonna be dead of embarrassment. Jesus Christ. I'm like secondhand embarrassed right now. Leia says, move in with me. That's not something you hear a lot these days. What? Watch out or I'm gonna fall for you too, Romeo. Dude, see? Even Leia can respect it. Even she can respect the hustle right there. She's just like, damn, Tonio, like, you're fucking direct. Where can I find a dude like you? Antonio's like, oh, this was not how I pictured this happening. Well,
surprise, motherfucker.
Laya says, you got yourself a good man, Lena. But you've still got work to do, right? Lena says, yeah. Somehow she's not as embarrassed as Tonio. Laya says, sorry, but nuptials will have to wait until peace is returned to Grawl. Tony says, you don't need to tell me that. Laya says, now you've got another reason to make sure we don't all die. To make sure we do right during the unification point. Yeah, we're counting on you all. I love the way she worded that shit. She's like, I might be falling for you too. How direct he was. She liked that shit. That's a hint to you, Leo. Get off your ass. Laya's not gonna wait around forever either. Leo says, yeah! When's he gonna make a move on Laya, right? Suddenly this has become Phantasy Star Universe dating simulator. Once the Illuminus got knocked the hell out, it turned into dating simulator Phantasy Star Universe. Like Phantasy Star Universe ambition of the dating simulator, dude.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
But I mean, let's be honest, this is what we all live for, right? Like, this is the real shit. This is what we really like to see. Tony says, fine.
Holy shit!
And that's it. It's the end of part 1. Whew, holy shit, I'm hurting. That was funny. Laya's face when she answered that call, dude. She was like, wow, this is very enlightening. Like, you guys left the comms open, you idiot. We all heard that shit. Like how everybody got to hear that entire thing. Yeah, I was secondhand embarrassed for Tonio and Lena. Mostly for Tonio, because Lena took it like a champ. She was just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, she was shocked at first too, but she, you know, she kind of just rolled with it afterwards. Tonio was the one who was dying, and I was dying with him. Oh man, secondhand embarrassment. You know, it's a lot like that feeling of cringe, basically. You're just like, oh god. Yeah, we all felt that shit. Anyway, God, I'm losing my voice already. I've been yapping and yelling and laughing too much. That was good. That was good shit right there. I love that kind of stuff. I'm a simple man, simple pleasures and all that. Alright, so part 2 of chapter 7 will be next time. Road to Rycross 2. And then the final chapter, which is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos for some reason. But they're all just under 10 minutes. So it's going to be like 45 to 50 minutes. But, you know, obviously me pausing to narrate and comment, it'll be like another hour like this. It'll be a full stream. So tomorrow's video is this one though, 44 minutes. Yeah, we're on schedule. We'll finish on Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, yeah. We'll finish on Thursday. But yeah, that's all for me for now, folks. So as always, thank you very much for watching and supporting across all platforms. I appreciate it. As always. Excuse me. And as always, please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Don't die. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And I will see you all next time. And remember, don't wait too long to make a move on that person that you have a crush on, alright? You're not going to wait around forever. Stay frosty.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.